Hi friends, I'm Kelly O. Welcome to my channel. I'm a Las Vegas showgirl, and today I'll be discussing 5 things I've learned as a Las Vegas showgirl. If you're new to my channel, I've been a showgirl and professional dancer here on the Las Vegas Strip for the past 10 years. I've been in countless production shows, music videos, gigs, nightclubs, you name it. I got my start on YouTube being featured in a video that ended up going viral about a day in my life as a Las Vegas showgirl, which I will link below. That video was made a few years ago, but I got tons of interest from it and people that wanted to know more about my life and more about what it's like to live and work here in Las Vegas. So I started this channel to do just that. I also started this channel to talk about things that I'm passionate about, primarily living your life outside the box. So doing things against the grain, questioning the status quo, and choosing to live your life in a way that is best for you and not what society and everyone else thinks you should do. So in today's video, I'll be talking about 5 things I learned as a Las Vegas showgirl. The number one thing that I have learned in the past 10 years as a Las Vegas showgirl is networking is everything. That's probably not what you thought I was going to say. And yes, that absolutely relates to every other profession that you could possibly have. Almost all of the shows that I've ever done or all of the projects I've ever worked on, I was either referred the audition by a friend or I was actually given the job itself by a friend or somebody that I knew. Not to say that talent isn't important. Sometimes people can only go so far as to get you the audition and your talent has to take you the rest of the way to actually get you the job. But it's very much about who you know, how many people you know, and what your relationships are with those people. So Vegas in particular, I think we have a really special community of dancers and performers. We all really support each other and we try to help each other get work as much as we can. For the most part, for the past 10 years that I've been here, there's been plenty of work to go around. There's a lot of work, so why not help your friends get those jobs? Of course, your personality can only take you so far. For example, you have to fit the requirements of the job. So sometimes there'll be a height requirement. You have to be 5'6" and taller, 5'8" and taller, or 5'5" and shorter. So obviously, if you're not the right height, it's nothing personal, you're just not gonna get the job. One time I got hired for a show because they were specifically looking for a tall brunette. They were trying to cover a certain number of looks within the show. Of course, other tall brunettes auditioned for the show and I was the lucky one that got it, but you never know what exactly they're looking for and you don't have control over those aspects, but you do have control over your relationships with people, how plugged in you are to a community. It really does translate to every single profession and job or even hobby or anything that you do. Like, your relationships with people are paramount. So definitely I'll be taking that forward with me in life, is to make sure you cultivate strong relationships with people and help people out, and not necessarily out of a selfish way, like I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, but because I genuinely want to help the people that I like. I want them to succeed. We have a really tight community of performers here, and everyone is super down to earth and interesting and intelligent, and I have this like built-in network of friends that is amazing, and we all support each other, knowing that there's enough to go around for everyone and not approaching it with a sense of lack or scarcity. It doesn't serve anybody to approach things with this concept of, oh, there's not enough work. It's just, who does that help? Like, just have faith in yourself, have faith in your ability, and help the people around you out of the goodness of your heart, and that will come back to you. The second thing I learned as a Las Vegas showgirl is that life is what you make it. When I moved here 10 years ago, I was living in Brooklyn. I was working as a ballet dancer, and the show Jubilee that used to be here in Las Vegas at Bally's Casino. Jubilee was a show that had always been on my radar. People had told me they love tall ballet dancers. It's a great job, you should go for it. And of course, I was scared and couldn't even imagine moving to Las Vegas to do a show, but I was lucky enough to be able to audition for the show in New York City when I was living in Brooklyn, and I booked the show. I, at the time, was really scared to take the contract. I needed the money. It paid a lot more than being a ballet dancer for me and had full benefits, including 401k, healthcare, free meal a day, all these things that for me as a starving ballet dancer were incredible. And so I had to take the opportunity, but I wasn't sure what I was walking into. When I got here, I realized the cost of living was super low. There was lots of work for me, and it was really fun work. I got to do so much fun stuff and get paid to do it. So I was able to save money. I bought a car, paid it off within a year, things that I never would have been able to do living in New York as a starving ballet dancer. So I took an opportunity and I turned it into better circumstances for myself in my life. And I just had so much fun. My life became performing for fun. It was just, what can I say? I was just so lucky. But my point is, if I had never gone to that audition, if I'd never been brave enough to audition for the show and actually be brave enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna take this job. It might be strange to me, it might be out of the ordinary, I might have no idea what I'm getting into, but what the heck, I'm gonna go for it. And without ever having been here, I packed 4 bags and I moved to Las Vegas, and it was one of the best things I ever did. So life truly is what you make it. If you're given an opportunity and you take it, you never know what could happen. I moved to Vegas on a whim thinking I'd be here for 6 months, and I made a life for myself. Life is what you make it. You never know what's gonna happen. Be positive and grab every opportunity that you can. The third thing I learned as a Las Vegas showgirl is that truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah, my life the past 10 years has been so incredibly surreal that it's become my norm. And so I forget that it's not normal, especially because most of my friends are in the same world that I'm in, and so they experience the same things that I do. And so to us, it's normal. But for example, I've had the pleasure of performing with CeeLo Green several times. And one time we were doing a parade down the Las Vegas Strip for CeeLo to celebrate the opening of his show at Planet Hollywood. And we were waiting for the parade to start. So we're in like little tiny showgirl costumes. It's just like a bra and little bottoms and fishnets. And I think it was February. So Las Vegas doesn't get that cold compared to the Northeast where I'm from, but it is a little too cold to be outside in like basically a bathing suit. But we had to wait to get on the float for the parade. So we're standing around with CeeLo Green. There was about, I think, 4 of us dancers in our little tiny costumes, and we were all just shivering, like huddled up in a ball. And luckily one of the police officers, the Las Vegas Metro that was there for the parade, let us get into his cop car to get warm. So basically there's 4 dancers, CeeLo Green and my boss, huddled into a cop car just trying to stay warm. I remember singing songs with CeeLo and just having a great time and getting pumped up for the parade. Another really surreal thing that has happened to me in my life in Las Vegas is I was recently, the last show that I did is called Crazy Girls. It's at Planet Hollywood, and I was recently featured on their billboard, pretty much naked. And this billboard is still playing at Planet Hollywood on their big poster outside of the casino. So sometimes if I'm walking by with my friends, I will see myself like 40 or 50 feet tall, naked on the strip. So that's really surreal, kind of cool. Yeah, it's super surreal to see yourself like that, and really cool. I just can't wait to be an old lady someday and look back at all the crazy stuff that I did, and the fact that I have this like giant billboard. Probably one of the most surreal things that has happened to me, where truth is genuinely stranger than fiction, is having a video that was made about myself go viral. So there was a video produced about me following a day in my life a few years ago, as I mentioned earlier, and it has over 2 million views now. So it's been really strange to see people take that 5-minute snippet of my life and make all these judgments and assumptions about who I am and what I'm like and what working in Las Vegas is like. It's been a little bit challenging because I feel like people were really hateful. And again, it's a 5-minute video. It doesn't really dive deep into what it's actually like or who I am. So that's been interesting, and it definitely made me wary to start a YouTube channel because people can be really mean. But it's also interesting that that many people had an interest in what I do for a living. So that was really cool. And just knowing that that many millions of people have watched me is really strange. Honestly, I have countless stories about how surreal my life has been. And if you want, I can do a whole separate video on them. I would honestly probably take me a while to remember all of them. There's just been so many, but. So real life is stranger than fiction, and I'm okay with that. Okay, the fourth thing I've learned as a Las Vegas showgirl is that it doesn't matter what you do for a living or how glamorous people might think your job is or how fun it is. Everybody needs a break. When I first moved here and I was doing the show Jubilee, we performed 12 shows a week and we worked 6 days a week. So 2 shows a night, 6 days a week. I was thrilled to have the job, and compared to ballet, it was still a lot easier than what I was used to. Really quickly, it turned into a grind. And even though it was such a fun, glamorous, wonderful job that I am so grateful that I had the experience of, man, does it burn you out. I counted, I would have anywhere from 11 to 13 costume changes per show. So that's 22 to 26 costume changes a day. Can you imagine changing your clothes that many times in a day, every day? It gets really old. Doing a full face of makeup every day with full lashes and red lips and like lots of foundation is obviously bad for your skin, but also gets really old. Some of the shows that I've been in over the years, you wear your natural hair, so you'd have to constantly be curling your hair, which is obviously terrible for your hair. All that glamour of like getting ready and getting beautiful, it's kind of not that glamorous anymore when you have to do it all the time. Also, obviously, being a dancer takes a toll on your body, so even if you're warming up and taking care of yourself, it's really common to kind of get overuse injuries, or one of the shows I was in had jump kicks, which is when you, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, but you jump and kick your legs like the Rockettes. And even if you're super flexible, if you're doing that every single day, which we were doing on a steel stage, your muscles just kind of shorten and tighten, and no matter how much stretching and warming up you do, your body can't ever really recover when it's doing something 6 days a week. So that is something that I learned, that it doesn't matter how much you love your job or how fun it is or how glamorous, everybody needs a break. And if I could do it over again, looking back, I would have taken a few more vacations and some more time off, which wasn't always possible because sometimes shows, they either don't let you take time off or they don't have enough people to let you take time off. Or sometimes it was my own fault. I was just being a complete workaholic and I didn't want to leave town and miss a gig. So if I could do it over again, I would take more downtime. That's something I learned. It doesn't matter what you do, how much fun it is, you can burn out. So if you've noticed my braces and you're wondering why I have braces and thinking to yourself, I didn't think a Las Vegas showgirl could have braces. Well, you would be correct. And I made a video all about that, which I will link up here and I will also link down below. And the fifth thing that I've learned as a Las Vegas showgirl is that I would rather not be normal. Now, this is more of a personal thing for me, and it doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but I have just realized over the years that I have never been somebody that plays it by the rule book or does what everybody else is doing. I was a weird kid. I didn't listen to pop music. My favorite band when I was 14 was Talking Heads. Yeah, I was a weird kid, and I was always questioning the status quo. I was always asking, well, why are things done that way? And I decided to become a dancer even though all the messages I was getting from everyone in my life was, don't do it, it's too hard. It's too hard to make it as a dancer, you won't make any money. I don't know, I think I did pretty well. I made it sound like it was the end of the world. You can't be a dancer, that's not a real job. You're not gonna make any money. What are you gonna do? You're gonna end up homeless and all these things. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to them. So my advice to anyone out there is if there's something you really want to do or you're really passionate about it, just do it. There's so much negativity out there and people operate from such a scarcity mindset and such a feeling that they're not good enough and that everything is impossible. Do not listen to those voices. I surprised myself even with my career. I did so much more than I even thought that I could because I dared to try. I was willing to put myself out there and give it a shot. You can carve out your own life. You can succeed even when people tell you it's impossible. And I plan to take that with me going forward in life. I don't plan to ever play by the rules. I don't plan to ever be pigeonholed into what society tells me I have to do. I haven't done it this far and I'm not gonna do it now. So that's it. Those are the 5 things that I've learned as a Las Vegas showgirl. If you guys enjoyed this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you would like the video and subscribe to my channel. I am a brand new YouTuber, so any support that you feel gracious enough to give me, I would really appreciate. Also, I would love to connect with you on social media. You can follow me on Instagram, where you'll see more of day-to-day images of what my life has been like as a showgirl and performer here in Vegas for the past 10 years. It's a pretty great chronicle of all the gigs and shows that I've done and photos of all the crazy costumes and things that I've worn. So if you'd like to check that out, you can follow me on Instagram here, and I would love to connect with you there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited. Thank you for all my new subscribers. This YouTube thing is actually turning out to be really fun. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. I wish I could roll my R's.